So, Leo, this is Jesse with 44 Astro with a full moon tarot reading for the full moon coming up on August 30th through 31st. This will be a super blue moon. Super moon means it's 14% bigger in the sky because it is in perigee with the Earth. Perigee means that when it's in its elliptical orbit, it's as close to Earth as it can be. So it's going to be really big in the sky, and we're going to feel it. Blue moon just means two full moons in a single month. You know, once in a blue moon, pretty rare. Every 2.7 years, I think. It's also going to be conjunct Saturn, who will be as close to the Earth as he can be. So it's going to be a very powerful conjunction. It will start in Aquarius, the conjunction, and move into Pisces. The moon will be full at 7 degrees Pisces at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be opposite the sun. Saturn has been opposite the sun for a while, ever since it's been in Leo, the end of Leo, and now it's into Virgo. This is going to be a moon that's going to bring things to the light. It's going to maybe give us vivid dreams because Pisces is all about dreams in the unconscious world. It could also be, because it was in Aquarius first, it could have something to do with how we present what our role is in the world, and it being tested in some way by Saturn. It could be that there are elements that are brought to light, and healing is good at this time because of the 27th mansion of the moon that it will be in. And I'll put a picture here about the 27th mansion. Alfar Galtani is what it's called, and it's good for healing. It's bad for starting new things or traveling, but you can read about it. It's good for gardening. But with this, I mean, it could even be that because the moon is the mother, as well as our inner worlds, it could be that you find that there's something wrong with your mother, like an illness or sickness, and it's brought to light by the sun, and then it's healed because this is a good mansion for healing. And Pisces and Virgo are all about healing and service. Also, if you are Leo Ascendant and Leo Ascendant only, this will fall into your either 8th or 7th house. And that just depends on what the degree of your ascendant starts at, and that's going to start your houses. If it's in the 7th house, it's going to be some kind of boundaries being tested in your personal relationship. Specifically, it could be your spouse or your one-on-one relationships. This is on the bottom. If it's the 8th house, it could be having to do with mysterious circumstances. It could be inheritance, could be sexual boundaries being tested, those types of things. Could be investigations. Surgeries even, because the 8th house represents all of that. If you want to mitigate this energy in some way, and it will be going on a few days before the full moon and probably a few days after, because that's where the conjunction will be happening with the moon. And the moon is our inner world, and it being in Pisces, it's going to be our unconscious world. And things are going to get brought to light from the unconscious. And if that's the case, it'd be a good time to bring them out and then heal them. It could be actual elements. It could be psychological elements. But a good way to mitigate this energy is to fast. The yogis do something called Ekadashi. Ekadashi is, because yogis are so in touch with the cycles of the universe. And as people, we are tied up with the cycles of the universe. The average days for a woman's menstrual cycle is 28 days, and the moon cycle is 28 days. And the moon moves with the tides, those types of things. But we're tied up into those. So there's a day within the between 40 and 48 days, the yogis will fast. The ones that are true yogis and they're in touch with the cycles of the universe. Because that's the card. Because their digestive system needs to heal. Or needs to reset, and it's good for the body. And everybody knows that fasting is good for the body. It's scientifically proven. This is the card you got. A new romantic cycle begins. Do we have lovers out here? I see the 2 of Cups. Uh-oh. So Ekadashi, it's about fasting, but for the average individual that isn't super in touch with the cosmic movement of everything, and what most Hindus do, and anyone that's into the yogic practices, they will fast 3 days before the full moon or new moon and the day of the new moon and full moon to make sure they catch that day. If you can't do that, and that's a tough fast right there, that many days, just eat really light juice and like vegetables, and maybe just eat dinner, like a really light dinner, and you'll be surprised how much it'll benefit you. The natural cycles of your body and the way it works. And you can use moons as a guide. And another thing is Saturn likes to take things from us, or at least put boundaries around things. So if we give up something of ourselves, like maybe fasting, giving up food for a few days, Saturn might not be as inclined to take something away because we gave something away already. Just a little advice. But do with it what you want. And if you physically can't fast, then don't. Just try to eat lighter. Anyway, this is the current situation. The current question has to do with a wish, and it looks like it's a wish around love. Looks like there was some kind of argument or some kind of battle that's taking place, or you're making a stance in the ground there and defeating some enemies. And it looks like it could be somebody from your past. It could be a question about somebody from your past. It could be an ex, but it could be about giving and receiving, or basically giving in a relationship, or just giving to those that you loved. It looks like, because this is a generous card, it could be people from your past, it could be children from your past, but it could really just be about giving, right? And this is a wish or a healing for people, someone from your past. But it's saying a new romantic cycle begins. So it could be, healing in a relationship. It looks like maybe there was arguments, maybe an argument that you won, or there's some kind of individuals naysaying about who you want to be with, like romantically, that type of thing. Or maybe family members being like, oh, you shouldn't be with that person, or this type of thing. And you're being like, look, it's my choice to give my love who I want to. This is the current path Leos are on. And there's two paths here. So, some Leos will be on this path, some Leos will be on the other path, or you have a choice of either one. Current path is the Emperor with the moon and walking away. So it may be that either you're walking away from this type of individual and starting a new romantic cycle, or it could be that this romantic cycle starting with an Aries, and maybe you don't even know that it's going to be happening, or at least you may know the person, but you don't know about the romantic interest, or it hasn't peaked yet. But it looks like you're walking away. So it could be that you're walking away from just that type of energy in general, or that this might be the type of person that you were interested in, or were interested in, and now you're like, no more. You know what I mean? Or this person was acting like an emperor, trying to control you and keeping secrets, and you're like, nah, I ain't having that. So that romantic cycle is ending, so the new one can begin. And this other path, you have love. You have the Two of Cups, and you have the World. So it's like a message coming in. Someone's going to be offering you the world or offering you love in some way. This is the other path, right? This is more of a complete path with the world being there. It's this coming to an end, walking away from it, and coming to an end, and then you having this love. So it's looking like a love reading for you, Leo. If you're already coupled, it could be that you've decided to talk it out, and this type of energy is no longer going to serve. You can no longer try to control each other. No more power struggle. We're walking away from that. We're no longer keeping secrets. We're going to have everything on the table. That type of thing. Or you're like, look, no more secrets, and I'm putting my foot down. No more. No more secrets. Or I'm leaving. And this other path, it looks like, a message coming in, or some kind of, new offer. Could be, maybe you'll have a child together, a young air sign. Could be something like that. And, could be an air sign that you're about to get with, and that's going to be true love. If it's a new romantic cycle, right? Completion of something old in the beginning, or a message of something new, message of love. On this other path, some Leos could be on this path, or like, if they're, maybe this is the paired Leos, or they're like, yo, I'm done with the secrets. I want it up front. No more Emperor energy, no more secret energy, or I'm leaving. Could be putting your foot down, and then that leads to like new, being more open and honest, and leading to true love. And this other path, maybe for the singles, it's like, oh, new message coming in for love. This is the advice. It's saying take a new journey. But at the same time, it's also rest or healing, right? And it could be that this new journey is going to present you some kind of healing, and it's going to bring you the happy home. I mean, the advice is good. It's like the new journey is going to bring you respite and, the new home, like a happy home, complete everything you need financially, emotionally, structurally, having it all. This is the outcome. Just faded. Wheel of Fortune. I mean, it could be that you're about to marry somebody, because the Four of Rods can represent like a marriage or a celebration of some kind. It doesn't have to necessarily be marriage. It just could be another happy home card, a celebration. And then you waiting, right? This is more of like being established. being established. Mind the kitty cats making noise in the background. Who knows what they're getting into? So the Three of Rods is like, look at what I've done behind me. I'm established. And it's like ready to conquer what's in front. And the rods are growing out of the ground. They're established. And that could be what you're saying here. It's like the wheels of fate are turning in your favor. To be established could be marriage, happy home, celebration, something like that. Just celebration in general on this new journey, right? And that's going to help you feel more established. And maybe that's what the new romantic cycle is going to bring for you. Maybe if it's somebody you're already with, maybe you're about to take it to the next level. It's time for marriage. That type of thing. Or even just moving in together, making it more serious. It looks like your question is around that, right? It could be around just like a specific argument you had with your spouse. And you wish maybe you could take something back. Because it's like a give and take card with the Six of Cups. Or it could be like you wish you could give more, maybe. Or you wish they would give more. Or the question is about them. Will they give more? Will this be more serious? And that could be your wish. Maybe it's more casual. And then you're trying to, your wish is for it to be more established. Are you looking for some kind of healing from an argument with the Star and the Five of Swords? Some kind of argument you had about it. About what you're willing to give in the relationship. Who's willing to give what? Or maybe an individual that's, you're feeling out, see if they're somebody you want to get with. And then that's what the conversation is about. Oh, right there. I mean, on the current situation, you have the Ace of Rods, which is, passionate energy. So it could be a new relationship, right? Because it says new romantic cycle begins. It could be a sexual relationship, But you also have the Seven of Swords with it, which is futility, but you also have satiety, which is the Ten of Cups. So again, this is the question, right? So the question could be, is this passionate new start something that's futile, or is it going to give me the happy home? Is it going to give me everything? It feels like the question is, do you feel like the efforts that you're putting in are futile, whether it's into a new relationship or an existing one? Or is it going to give you everything? Which is what this card is. This is having it all. Being sated, satiety. Right? And that could be what it is. That could be the question's about. I mean, and with Saturn possibly being in your 7th house, that tests your one-on-one personal relationships. He's going to test the boundaries of it. He's going to decide, is it going to be healing or is it going to be something else? And your beliefs and faiths will be tested in your relationship. And with 8th house, it's going to be more sexual, and that could be what this card's about, right? And it could be getting into the depth of the relationship, really learning, investigating about the individual. Maybe you've been together a while, but now you're really starting to figure out who they are. And generally that occurs around a couple of years. You start, the persona kind of fades, and you start really knowing who each other are, and then you have to decide if you want to grow together or not. Okay, this is on what was on your current path. You have completion, works, which is the 3. So you have the 4 of Rods, which you also had down here, but in this deck it's completion, like a cycle being completed. You have the 3 of Pentacles, and then you have the Queen of Discs, right? So, I mean, it could be with an earth sign. Yeah, it's like maybe because you were walking away in this. So on this path, it could be the completion. You're done working on this relationship, or you've worked very hard for stability with an earth, maybe with an earth sign. Could be, but there's a ram in this picture. If you look, there's a ram in there. So it could be an Aries too, or a combination of earth and fire. So, and with the Emperor here, it could definitely be Aries. And you're like, look, I've done my best to try to have a complete, and 4s are always stability. So being grounded. So it could be that you've tried really hard, you've worked really hard to have a stable relationship or stable home or happy relationship. And like, you're like, look, we're going to make this stable. And we're going to stop keeping secrets, or I'm leaving. That's kind of what it feels like. And like, that's kind of where you're at. You're like, look, I'm done. I'm done putting in all the work. This has been one-sided. Now it's your turn. Could be something like that. Could be with earth or fire. Definitely could be with Aries. Screams Aries to me. especially with that ram in that picture. Combination of, could be cusp, could be a late April birthday individual. Oh, right there. Yeah, on this path, you know, it's like a new path. It's like a path of truth. Whatever this path is over here with the love, it could be that, you know, you work it out, right? If you choose this path instead of this path is like, I'm fed up with it. And some Leos may take that path, and that may be the only path you can take depending on the individual. If it's with that Aries or that Earth sign. But on this path, it's like, you know, with the Page of Swords there, it's also got the Ace of Swords. So it's like the truth has come forth, right? And it turns out maybe they are virtuous or they're willing to be virtuous now. And that's just what you want. That's what you want to manifest. That's what they want to manifest. And it brings the world. Or if it's new love, that's what you've been manifesting. Maybe that's what your wish is about, is a new love. And it's, you know, it's going to come in and it's going to be the truth. This person's going to be the truth, and it's going to bring you the world. It's going to bring you love. So that path's delicious. Leo and Aquarius are my two favorite signs in the zodiac. And I have neither. I have some Aquarius in my chart. I have no Leo. Those are my two favorite signs. I like that whole axis of the zodiac. Mainly because Leo's the sun, and the objective for all of this is to become solar. Be so complete in ourselves and our own self-knowing and our own gnosis that we're worthy of being able to broadcast out what we have within us so that others may learn and do the same. It's kind of what it's all about. It's what the hard journey of astrology is about. It's about knowing the energy so that you're conscious of them and not unconscious of them. Because if they're unconscious, they'll rule your life, and you will call it fate. Carl Jung said that. Not about astrology, but about your unconscious world. But if you're conscious of it, you can integrate, and you can use the energies to their best effect. Sometimes it'll be to the worst effect. Probably just depends on how you're feeling at the time, your current disposition. But it's best to be conscious of them than unconscious. And that's why I'm trying to teach a lot of astrology in these videos. And a little bit of yogic, a little bit of occult knowledge, just a little bit here and there. And then when I get monetized, I'll make some serious videos over them. And we can really break some of this stuff down. And I'll even go over my path of healing. It's probably going to surprise some people. And I don't fit the normal stereotype of the tarot reader, do I? But if you put an image to what spirituality is supposed to look like, spirituality is something that isn't material at all. It's actually the antithesis or opposite of it. It's disingenuous. So like you have a lot of the individuals they want to look all mystical and stuff. So they have like, you know, maybe tattoos or dyed hair in some way, but that's really just the age of Aquarius, right? Trying to stand out in the collective. And I do have a lot of mystical things. I do burn sage. I do believe in that, but that's an old ancient tradition. I do believe in sound, so I do have a sound bowl. I believe in sound waves and energy and things like that. But the way I look and dress, I don't fit the normal demographic. But spirituality has nothing to do with the look. It has nothing to do with the material. It has to do with spirituality, which is that which you cannot see. It's beyond it. Pure energy, pure light. The higher the vibration gets, the higher things vibrate, the less they are maintain materiality. You can't, because if it vibrates too much, it bursts into energy. If it vibrates too slowly, it becomes solidified and crystallized like crystals. But even crystals are moving, just very slowly. The advice is good. It's saying new path is going to bring you rest, and it's going to bring you the happy home. And it's saying that's what you need to do. Maybe don't worry about it, because it's going to be all good. Come on now, what we got here, cards? Nope, that was good enough right there. Oh yeah. Yeah, looks like abundance, happiness, cups overflowing. Passionate energy, a message coming in of passionate energy. So it could be the new relationship, or on this other path, it could be with a fire sign, because you have the Knight of Rods here. You have abundance, which is the Three of Cups in this deck. It's called abundance. This could be a message, the Princess of Swords. So it could be just a message coming in, a quick message, very quick moving message, or just something that's coming in soon. It could be the message from the individual that you're getting with, or even the person that you're already paired with, that they're very passionate and love you. And it's going to lead to abundance. And that's what this rest is going to lead to. It's what this new journey is going to lead to, abundance. And it's fated. Back here it's saying fated. And it could be marriage is fated. If you're not married and you're in a relationship and it's getting serious, it could be marriage coming on the table. Maybe they've already proposed to you, or you've already proposed, and you're already planning the date. Yeah, maybe you don't know yet. And if it's a new relationship, you don't know. It may be coming down the road. But it's going to lead to a new perspective. And in this case, maybe you feel stuck now because you got the Hanged Man, but it could just be a new perspective. And then you have the Moon again, and you have Prudence. It's just saying that you might not be able to see it right now, and you might not even have met the person yet, but you may have. But just stick with what you're doing, because what you're doing is good. Keep wishing, keep healing. If it is a relationship that you're getting out of, you may not be able to see the results, and you feel stuck, but either work on your relationship to bring passion back, and maybe it leads to marriage. Or if you're trying to cultivate a relationship, work on it. See things in a new perspective. Maybe the person that you're interested in, you don't feel like is interested in you, but if you actually talk to them and you put in some work, you're going to realize that they've been keeping a secret, the Moon, and maybe they are very much interested in you. And it's a very, very strong possibility because a new romantic cycle is beginning. Or maybe you didn't even know, maybe the secret is that you didn't know you like them. And then you get to know them a little better. It's like, boom, oh, wow. I'm interested in this individual. We connect. All right, for what it's worth, that's all I have, Leo. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. It would mean a lot to me. You don't have to if you don't want to. The view is good enough. I've already invested a lot into this channel, more than I should. I've got video editing equipment already, or not equipment, but software. And I'm not monetized at all, but it's a labor of love, a passion of love of mine. But either way, I'm glad you're here, and I hope this is a happy full moon for you, this energy. It's going to be rough when it passes. If you fast if you can. I wouldn't do anything on that full moon. Like on the 30th, 31st that night, I'd stay at home and maybe fast. But do what you want. I'm not telling you what to do. Just giving you a little information from the knowledge that I have, the gnosis that I have. But anyway, happy full moon, Leo, and I hope to see you here again.